What does that mean?
It means buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
We need the outlet for our rock tumbler.
Plug it in!
What, the rock tumbler or the TV?
The TV!
And as for you, I don't know you, but I'm sure you're a jerk. Hey, I've only been here a few minutes. What's going on?
By the powers vested in me by the Federal Communications Commission, I command you to get on the microphone in a serious manner and continue this broadcast.
Get a podcast.
So why don't all you little idiots press your faces up against the speakers and blow your brains out?
Hey guys, what's going on? You are listening to This Week in Geek, and this is RAM, Random Access Memories. What does that mean? Well, this is the show that we just kind of come up with on the spot more often than not. Not a lot of planning ever goes into these, but we usually get the most interesting discussions in these shows. I'm your host, Mike the Birdman, but I'm not alone as we trek through the unusual memory lane of television, usually post 8 p.m. I'm joined by my good compatriot. I have guested on their show, The Guelph Politicast, a number of times.
I'm Adam A. Donaldson.
And of course, it is not Twig without our resident librarian and film connoisseur from the magical, mystical land of Ohio,
David Denoyer, coming to you from Ohio.
And our anime expert aficionado and guy who can pronounce names I have no hope in hell of ever pronouncing correctly,
Ken from This Anime.
So guys, in this episode of RAM, this is something that just kind of came to me. I think I was watching something on YouTube and I was like, wait a second, we've never really talked about this. And it's a topic that I think is worth kind of poking around with because we've had so many good shows, some not so good shows come out of this. And we're going to be talking about adult animation, not like the Stan Lee, Pamela Anderson, can't pronounce it. Yeah. We're not talking about that, though I think we could. We've like, because technically The Simpsons falls into adult animation. We've had a number of revivals come out with adult animation, most notably last year with the King of the Hill revival, which I think is getting new episodes this year. I want to say.
I haven't watched it, but I heard it was really good.
It's surprisingly good. Like, it's funny because me and Blair. Yeah, sorry.
I've always argued King of the Hill has aged like fine fucking wine.
Oh, because it has. No, I mean, King of the Hill is still loved to this day. That's why it got that new drop.
And
I just need to revisit
and it's one of those things, the older I get, the more I appreciate King of the Hill. As a kid, hell no.
But yeah, it's like, it's weird because my wife didn't much care for King of the Hill. She always found it boring. And I think a lot of people who are younger didn't really get it. But we sat down and watched the revival over the course of like a week or so. And she's like, I really like this. And I'm thinking, that's good to hear because my wife doesn't much care for adult animation. It's just not her vibe. But sometimes stuff like that will catch. And recently this past winter, I was really sick with COVID for a couple of weeks. And I also had some time on the TWIG annual break that we take for like a month and a half, 2 months. And I sat down and watched the entirety of Invincible on Amazon Prime. The only thing I haven't watched is the Adam Eve special, but I need to do that in like next week or two. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is a really fun topic because like everybody here, we all started with The Simpsons, I'm going to presume. And
I was Family Guy, but yeah.
Really? Wow.
It was Simpsons, and I have to give a shout out because it's too obvious. Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was a big favorite of my dad's. We had the VHS tapes of it growing up. So Ren and Stimpy was probably the gateway into adult cartoons for me, but we were a Simpsons household as well.
Like, I remember when my parents, it's one of the few times as a child, I remember my parents would always make time for me on Sunday night and we'd watch The Simpsons on Fox way back when it was like appointment viewing. And this is before the animation domination of Family Guy, King of the Hill, et cetera, et cetera. And I always thought Simpsons is for the most part, still the gold standard. The writing and consistency has slipped over the years. That's a conversation for a different day. But I remember one of the adult animation shows that really took my attention. There are two of them that I can think of, and they are so polar opposites to each other. When HBO was really starting to get into premium programming in the late 90s, around 97 or so, Spawn was really big in toy aisles. There was the Spawn there was the Spawn movie starring Michael Jai White and John Leguizamo, and they did a television series.
I like that movie, and I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
bitchin' soundtrack.
Yeah,
not a good movie, but man, it's entertaining.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is entertaining. It
and dated effects.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I just what they did to his cape makes me so sad, but still, Melinda Clark as Priest, very much love that. Anyway,
so
Spawn,
Mark Sheen's win eating scenery like they're running out. It's
I forgot about him as Jason Wynn. Oh,
how could you forget? My God, he puts a bomb next to his heart.
That's true. Heat 16 will make us look like a birthday party. Fuck.
Also, Leguizamo as clown is just one of my favorite things that I cannot explain. But man, it was you had to be there.
Leguizamo admits that he had fun on that set.
Oh yeah.
Every time an angel farts, a demon gets his wings. God, I love that movie.
He's so gross.
It's the only Martin Sheen action figure I have.
I mean, that's amazing. Did they make any more? Like, is there a West Wing action figure or something?
Well, that's what I mean. It's like you'll never like they're gonna make of his Apocalypse Now character, or like I have a Martin Sheen action figure.
Nowadays they absolutely would. I mean, if we're talking Martin Sheen action figures, you could probably get him as the creep in The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane at this point.
I think there's a Mass Effect one for the Elusive Man, but I'm not sure. But seeing Spawn for me was such a big deal because at the time I didn't have premium cable. So I had to wait till this was released on VHS, and then it was essentially shown as one long 3-hour movie or something.
I have the Steelbook, and the Steelbook has it broken up in the seasons. But I will say, this is actually a good point for me. I will say that Spawn was the first time that I was watching a cartoon that I had bought like with my own money. I think I got it at Half Price Books, or even our long forgotten second time, or not long forgotten, but long missed second time around in Dayton. And I remember just pushing play in that first episode with the ice cream truck driver that is technically molesting children. Yeah. It was just like dangerous is not the word I want to use, but it's the only way I can describe it, where it was just like, oh man, this feels dangerous. Like this cartoon feels like next level, because I think that's one thing with adult animation is there always should be a point where you're not watching the cartoons that you grew up with. Like you actually recognize like, oh, this is like my age range shouldn't probably be watching this. Like you got that feeling, and that was how it felt with Spawn, even though I think I was like 13 or something when I watched Spawn. So I mean it wasn't that bad, but
I was still in high school when I came across Spawn, and I think it was as a result of, because I had insomnia in high school. I ended up meeting Mike through his Saturday morning cartoon blocks that we would do in those long live streams. And I guess Spawn came up at some point, and then I ended up pirating it because, of course, I'm a fucking teenager. I don't have the money to spend. And also, I don't think Spawn was available.
It was hard to find
at that time.
Yeah, at like that time. Yeah.
I remember like when that Steelbook came out, it was a big deal because that Steelbook was pretty new when I bought it, because that was why I ended up getting it, was because I was like, holy shit, this is here, because I think I paid like $15 for it. I think the sticker might still be on it. I still have it to this day.
That's a bargain.
Yeah, I bet it's worth more now, but I don't know. Didn't they put it on Blu-ray recently?
$100.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, I need to check out that Blu-ray release or review to see if it's any good. But no, I think Spawn was like one of those for me that it was just like, who saw the movie and saw the R-rated cut, because for those that don't know, there is a PG-13 and a technically unrated cut, even though it doesn't really add much if I remember correctly.
Some nudity, some violence.
It's like 5 minutes.
Okay, so I mean that's significant more so than some of those unrated cuts add, where it's just like you get a whole 6 seconds.
One
I
is
digress.
hilarious.
Well, fuck. I mean, dude, look at the goddamn Friday the 13th uncut. It's just like you get 2 more seconds of blood spurt out of a throat, and then I think you get like a second more of Mrs. Voorhees' decapitation. And it's just like it's the uncut version. It's just like, whoa, that whole 3 seconds really makes the difference.
Oh yeah,
and it kind of does in some cases. But no, I digress. But yeah,
I mean,
Spawn
if
was.
you watch a documentary, this film is not yet rated. You understand that, like,
oh my god,
mere seconds with the.
I love that documentary. I love that documentary, but it also makes me mad every time I watch it.
Yes.
For those that don't know, it's about the MPAA.
I rented that from my local library.
Yeah. That documentary is, oh my god, that documentary is infuriating and informative at the same time.
Yep.
But yeah, no, Spawn was an interesting cartoon because I think that honestly made me kind of reach out to what other violent cartoons were out there, and that took me to Toonami. Toonami is where I started seeing a lot of my adult cartoons, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. The other there are 2 that I want to mention, and they're 2 around the same time, but 2 different vibes. One was a USA Network exclusive for quite some time, and I very much went out of my way to find a way to watch it. I can't remember how I did it, but once upon a time, Jason Alexander of Seinfeld fame, George, had his own animated series called Duckman.
Yep.
And Duckman is the most ridiculously over-the-top thing. So the story pitch is Duckman plays a private detective with his friend Corn-Fed Pig, and they go around and solve crimes and have everyday suburban life with Duckman, whose wife has passed away. He lives with his wife's sister and her 2 kids, who are conjoined twins. There's this big dumb idiot named Charles, who just is like the big brother, and he's very dumb. You've probably heard clips on this show where it's like, stop now or I'll use more big words at you.
See, I like my favorite will always be, you remember my father's last words? Stop, son, don't, it's loaded. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah, like it was so over the top, and just like I could tell Jason Alexander was having fun with this, but I loved it because it was so absurd, very much in that Ren and Stimpy vibe of like, I wonder what we can get away with.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was so well written because it was so funny and so, like I said, absurd and weird. But then Beavis and Butthead was the big thing because that was around 93, 94 when that came out. Beavis and Butthead Do America. I remember, this is funny, I went to that same cinema I've talked about on a couple other shows. I'm going with my friend Jarrett. And I remember this specifically. We wanted to go see Beavis and Butthead Do America. I got in because I was a little bit older than him. He was like 13 or 14 at the time. I was maybe 15. And we wanted to go see Beavis and Butthead, but they wouldn't let him in because he wasn't old enough. I'm like, what? It was like, okay, fine. Let's go get a movie. Let's go see Daylight, which is a Sylvester Stallone movie that came out around the same time.
Daylight kicks ass. I love Daylight.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
So my friend Jarrett goes, wait a second. Before we go, this kid was a smart ass even at very young. He's like, you won't let me see the swearing cartoons, but you'll let me see the excessive violence. Yeah, because that makes sense. And he walked away.
Because that's America.
I was like, okay.
America, fuck yeah.
And it was just so insane.
There was sex in it. They would have called the cops on him.
Yeah, and it was just like so bizarre. So again, Beavis and Butthead, very transformative because I saw mostly the animated shorts at first where they make fun of the music videos, Frog Baseball being a very infamous one, stuff like that, like them going to
Do
work.
America
the world
is still a really good movie. I just revisited
Do
it.
America
like
has a fucking Criterion collection.
Really?
Is it Laserdisc?
No, it was recent.
Are you mistaking it? Are you
I'm
mistaking it
pretty
for
sure.
the fake cover of the Criterion that's going around?
No, I'm pretty sure they're in the Criterion. I'm
if they are, man,
almost
I missed
100%.
that.
I'm fucking buying that. I don't buy many of those.
Because I've seen the fake cover that they made for Beavis and Butthead Do America Criterion. I think I actually may have it as my LetterBox selection.
That's funny. But yeah, it's like those are the type of things that really opened my eyes. And then I'd find out MTV was doing more on liquid television. We get Aeon Flux, we get the Max, you would get stuff on Teletoon later on. That would be stuff like Mission Hill, the Oblongs. I've talked about those just kind of previously, so I'm not going to get too into the weeds with them. But stuff like that was like, there is something interesting here. But more traditionally, it was stuff like King of the Hill and Futurama. And those shows never took with me until I was older. I'm still not the biggest Futurama fan. But the more I've went back and revisited King of the Hill, I realize there's a lot of heart to that show. Mike Judge is absolutely wonderful. Brittany Murphy as Luann, while she sounds like dumb and ditzy, that's a character with a lot of love to give and a lot of inherited stupid trauma because of dumb decisions that she's made. Peggy Hill, wonderfully complex character, rather dumb, but loves her family in the most authentic way possible. And that's something you don't get from The Simpsons nowadays. Yeah, you get the odd storyline where like maybe Homer realizes grandpa means more than what he is, Homer's mom, all the memorable memes that still come out of the 90s on many Simpsons groups like Simpsons Bort posting and stuff like that on Facebook. Adult animation has a lot more weight to it than I think people give it credit for. Unfortunately, you'll then run into problems ran into the Ren and Stimpy creator. We're not going to go too much into that, but that's problematic at best.
Oh, yeah.
But then you'll get the rebirth and the revitalization of shows now. Like you look at shows like, Ken will have a lot more to say about this, and I really want to hear this, Has Been Hotel, which I've only seen clips of. Looks absolutely.
I watched the first season. I liked the first season. I just, unfortunately, I just have not been drawn back to it. And it's nothing against the show. It's just like, it unfortunately came at a point in my life that was with my ex. And that's why I just don't want to really broach the association. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, even with me, it's taken me a long time to go back and revisit stuff that I associate with my older relationships, and it's only now that I'm coming to grips with it, I can separate the art from the trauma, but it's taken me time to do so. And I think that's kind of the beauty of adult animation, is it can help you process certain things.
think it's
like BoJack Horseman, like wrecking my soul every time I revisit it. God, I love BoJack Horseman, and no joke, it is sometimes the only reason that I have to get Netflix is because I want to watch it, because unfortunately they've only released the first 2 seasons on disc. There is a bootleg out there, but regardless, every time I think to myself, I should rewatch BoJack Horseman, that's basically me saying, hey, I think I need to go to therapy.
Yeah. One show that got me very politically motivated in a very unusual way is The Boondocks.
Boondocks is fantastic.
Like, it's such a powerful show. Yes, they hide it in rather colorful language I'm not going to repeat on this show, such as the blank moments, which are hysterical, but because they're so over the top, but you see there's genuinely good messaging in there. Like, I remember one point, what's the name of the guy who passed away who voices Grandpa? Help me out. He was in the Friday movies.
No, you're talking about John. Damn it.
Yeah. I know his name is John, but he says, I think it's Riley says, Grandpa, what do you do when there ain't nothing you can do? And I think Grandpa says, well, then
John Witherspoon.
Witherspoon. And it's delivered with such sincerity. It's like, well, you keep trying. You do what you can. And it's delivered with such authenticity that I'm like, that's a really positive message to take away from the most absurd thing possible. But I like that message of resilience, that message of like, you know what? Yeah, life sucks, but you got to try anyway. Because adult animation can be such a vessel to tell different stories. It doesn't have to be vulgarity. It can be, like, you look at stuff like Rick and Morty, which is so bizarre how it's turned its thing into like a mythos. There's a fucking Rick and Morty anime now and all, which is terrible, I think. But it's tied into so many different things. But anyway, I've rattled on. Give me some other memories here, guys.
So for me, I think I'm more in tune with like YouTube and that boom of animation on YouTube, which is happening right now. You have stuff like Hell of a Boss, which is now on Amazon Prime and is being and the final 2 seasons are going to be funded by Amazon, which is awesome. Cool. More money for a show that is incredibly deep for something so stupid as we're a bunch of demons that get hired by people to kill humans. Like it's literally a hit squad. That's the whole premise. Is it's a hit squad for demons and for people that go to hell and go, I want you to kill this motherfucker. And
I feel like Hell of a
it's
Boss is really underrated compared to Has Been. I feel like Hell of a Boss is finally getting its due. And maybe
it takes a while to get going, especially given the fact that season 1 is more of the goofy hijinks, and season 2 kind of goes more deep into character.
Are you speaking of Has Been or Hell of a Boss?
Hell of a Boss.
Kind of both. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And I think Has Been has always been about the characters and just kind of expanding that aspect. It just gets better and better, and like with Hell of a Boss, like we're probably gonna see maybe the first episode of season 3 by the end of this year. Who knows?
Now, I have some breaking news. Again, depending on when Alex posts this is probably old and ancient. As fresh as the milk in the back of your fridge. Firefly is looking for an animated series. The first promo has just dropped. And according to this, they need fans to post on their Instagram to convince, quote, folks, this is something that people want.
Oh, this is everything that's wrong with culture right now. Just like we can't let shit go. Firefly has, I think, 15.
Firefly has some of Firefly has aged like fucking milk.
I mean, the whole Mal and Nara relationship in the shadow of what we've learned about Joss Whedon, just like it's even worse now. So, I appreciate that these people have a connection and they have a fondness for each other. Certainly, Nathan Fillion has enjoyed dining out on his the Firefly thing for 20 years, but I'm a hard no. I'm okay.
I'm gonna with the rookie. So
yeah. I'll add to this that we've also just recently found out that the thought to be Hulu produced Buffy show, the reboot or sequel, also just got axed. And while I was not necessarily looking forward to it, it would have been cool to see with Sarah Michelle back, but it's like we don't need it. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. Like I've joked on this show many a times about Beetlejuice. It's not a bad movie. It's not an unwatchable film, but did we need it? And now that we have it, how do we feel kind of thing? And like, I understand nostalgia. I understand, but like Scary Movie 6 is coming. And while it does look good, there has been a hint that if it does well, White Chicks 2 is coming. And I'm just like, guys, what are we doing?
Well, there was talk.
There's also... But like with also the animation, like Glitch Productions and all their stuff, you've got stuff like Digital Circus. Knights of Guinevere is officially getting a full season order. You've got stuff like Murder Drones, which is a full season that's completely out. And also you have Rubber Ross's series that he's helming about like video game transplanting thing. It looks interesting.
There was one show that I kind of wish I liked it more. I've seen clips and I've seen a few episodes. I enjoy it, but the fandom really ruined it for me that I don't want to engage with it.
Rick and Morty. Sorry, I'm gonna say
that's one of them.
Yes.
There are parts of it I still enjoy, but it's hard to go back and rewatch because knowing what we know now. But the show I'm referring to is Archer. And I love John Hamm. I think he's fucking hysterical. But the thing is, that fandom became so annoying. I just didn't want to engage with it.
Archer goes to weird places later on.
The
I
early
also-
stuff that I've seen, I mean, I really liked it, but Bob's Burgers is more my thing, and it's weird
Yeah, I
to
love
go from
that
Bob's
show.
Burgers
Yeah.
to Archer.
Yeah.
The voice just throws me off, and I know that's mean because that's just H. John Benjamin's voice. But Archer has been fun from what I've seen it. But yeah, I was really surprised by how fucking long it went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Bob's Burgers hits a rather unique thing. And what I mean is that is the same vibe as King of the Hill, where it's more wholesome than what you might think. And there's something so much about the Belchers. As much as I love Gene, because I've interviewed Eugene Merman, and I really wish I could go back and redo that interview just to ask more poignant questions now that I understand media literacy in a different way. Bob's Burgers is a comfort show. And I see so many
Yes.
people saying, I'm just going to put this on. I'm going to enjoy the goofy adventures. Now, the Bob's
fact that
Burgers
it's
movie,
lasted as long as it has, even
When I
after
started
the
watching
movie.
it was only 3 seasons, and it was on Netflix. That's how far back and how long I've been watching Bob's Burgers from like its inertia, and it is just the most wholesome show that also sees you. Like I can't put
Yes.
it any simpler
even
than
from
that.
the beginning. Even from the beginning, you could tell like there were a bunch of really deep cut episodes. Like there
Well,
was a
the fucking original
Brony
the
episode.
original pilot, they were cannibals. Like the whole cannibal storyline was true, and then they were just like, we got something. Maybe we tweak this a little bit. And I'm so happy they did because I've seen the art and the look of the original show because there's actual like a scene you can find on YouTube of it. And I mean, what they did is just perfect. And I mean, Bob's Burgers has a staying power, but I don't know how much more of it before we're going to start rechurning old storylines because there has been a little of that so far too. So that brings up one thing with animation shows for adult. They need to stop. South Park, Simpsons, I'm looking at you. Like there's got to be a cutoff point.
South Park, I think, in terms of what it says politically, can remain relevant. The problem is the environment to which it exists. And we're not going to get too deep into the
in the
political weeds
situation
here.
that they're in. I
Yeah.
get it. At the
Well-
same time, it's like you're talking about a regime change within Paramount.
Yeah.
And that's good. And frankly, I will not be shocked if the guys just step
Leave.
away after their contract's over.
Yeah, well, I would wonder if there will be pressure from on high that they'll kill episodes. Because obviously when there was the controversy with the timing of I'm not going to get too deep into this because I don't want people coming after us, but with the Charlie Kirk thing, and then with the criticization of the Trump White House and the Kristi Noem shit, which was hilarious for Kristi Noem when her face fucking ran away. You have to wonder, considering how thin-skinned the administration is, will I don't want that show on the air, you need to cancel it. Will that ever become a thing, considering that the FCC has been weaponized? And you look at,
I think they're just not good. I think the guys are just going to do what they can. They've already made their money and they're burning the bridge behind them.
which is good, which I think they should do, because adult animation, in my opinion, should always be pushing the envelope. You don't necessarily have to be as offensive.
I mean,
but tell the stories you want to tell.
People get pissed at Vivzy Pop's productions like Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss simply because they curse so much. And it's like, not
You live in a world of
necessarily-
South Park, guys.
Yeah, but like not necessarily where it's like, yeah, sure. In Hell of a Boss, Blitz is a character that uses slurs like a friggin' adjective.
Yeah, it's funny because it's absurd. Like
Yeah.
one of the things
But
I'm
like
looking
with Has Been, every single character curses at during certain periods. Like when it comes to Alistair, the radio demon, when he curses, you know shit's serious.
Mm-hmm. One show that kind of caught my attention, and I wish I kept up with it, but there's a moment in it that was so gross I had to turn it off, and this makes me look like a giant wimp. But it's the show Big Mouth, which is a show, again, that is weirdly wholesome.
I can't get over the character designs of that show.
Yeah, it's a character. Okay, there's a moment where the gym teacher has eye surgery, and he's talking about
what the fuck? Why would you do that with that character design?
So he has eye surgery, and he's like, "Oh, I have to keep on this eye patch, or I'll get scabs." So, and he takes off his eye patch and he gets scabs over his eyes, and just something about that triggered something very primal.
Yeah.
Oh, can't watch, got to turn it off, can't deal with this. And I don't know why, but that's a show that I hear. But there's something about that show where I hear a lot of conversation online. There's a friend of mine who is very niche in their interests, right? And that's a show that they latched onto. And I'm thinking, that's very fascinating, because you don't come across as the type of person who would get into this sort of thing. So please tell me more. And this person was like, I like it because what it says about the challenges of puberty, relationships, and finding yourself in your own body. And I was like, that's a really interesting way to look at it. I've never considered that.
I mean, like, that is kind of the antithesis of that show in general.
But the one show we haven't really talked about, because it's low-hanging fruit, but it has to be mentioned, any of the Seth MacFarlane shows.
Yes.
And
I loved Family Guy. I loved Family Guy for a long time, and then it got bad.
I like older Family Guy. About season 4, season 5 is when I would say it drops off.
I had a moment, and this is one of the last times I ever went to a family Christmas. Not related. I'd like to point this out. So I'm at this family Christmas with some of Blair's extended family, and let's just going to say I'm not exactly going to be showing them documentaries anytime soon. And that's not to call them stupid. They like what they like, and that's fine. So we're sitting there, and they're talking about Family Guy, and it just happens to be on TV at the same time. And I'm like, okay, I want you to sit down with me for a moment. They're like, okay, fine. And I want you to put a stopwatch on your phone. Okay, fine. And you're going to watch every minute 30. Okay, why? Just trust me. And go. Minute 30. Joke, joke, joke. Reference, reference, reference. Joke, joke. Throwaway guy. That conversation ended with "fuck you, Mike." I was like, "What? It's bad. What do you want? It's terrible." And they're like,
I think that was what happened once Seth stopped being the major honcho behind Family Guy.
Yeah, and Seth can tell some.
He went to focus on American Dad, which American Dad is a better show for it.
100%. No, American Dad is one that I came to late, or at least late in the series when I found it.
Yeah.
It was one of those shows that it just didn't appeal to me. For some reason, it just didn't appeal to me.
Right.
And then I started slowly seeing clips of it. And I had watched Family Guy and Robot Chicken, and I had seen Seth MacFarlane's cartoon at Cavalcade Hour or whatever the hell that was.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I think what it was with more so Family Guy over American Dad was Family Guy went there and also got attention via the South Park episode and like all this stuff. Like Family Guy had a lot of push behind it, also because it's multiple cancellations. Because like for a while there, it was just a legend. It was kind of that legendary show that wouldn't stop coming back, even though they tried to kill it twice.
Yeah,
like Seinfeld.
There's one show that Seth MacFarlane does, which I really hope continues. It's not animation. I guess you could, I don't know, adjacent almost, and it's the TED television show on Peacock.
There's no plans for season 3.
I tried to watch it, and then I realized the first episode was an hour long, and I had to stop. And then I've heard it get shorter. But I couldn't get past the first episode.
Honestly,
because I was like, how do you make a sitcom an hour fucking long?
Honestly, I've watched it with my wife. We've seen half of season 2 right now. And Seth MacFarlane has said they've got enough material to do 20 seasons. It just depends. They need to get the money and the people on board to make it run. I'm hoping it'll get picked up for season 3.
20 seasons? Do we need 20 seasons?
See, I think the sweet spot for a show is 5, personally.
Look,
5 to 7. 5 to 7.
That actually loves the Ted movies, both of them. They're both freaking
Yep,
hilarious. And the show, what I've seen of it is just as hilarious.
The D&D episode surprised the fuck out of me how well.
I haven't seen it, but I saw that Brennan's on it, so I've got to watch it.
Yeah. There's some great chemistry with the
mom is underappreciated.
Yeah.
And the kid, yeah, but go on. Sorry.
Yeah, but the kid that relationship is great. Great actor. And it's like, look, if you want to evolve, there are some questionable things that happened in season 2 involving AI and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I'm like, probably not the best idea. But I get it.
Now, there's one show that people seem to love. And again, it came out of the 90s, but it never took with me. So I'm curious to know if there's any fans here. Daria.
Oh hell yeah! No, I love Daria. I mean, I came to Daria late via MTV reruns, and I watched it with my sister. And then when that DVD case was announced, I went and got it. But obviously, as it's been known now, like 90% of the music's been changed on it, which kind of changes the element of the show. But I think Daria was fucking iconic. It still is. I mean, to this day, it just has. It again is a show that was for people that needed to find it, and hopefully it found them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, my wife's a big fan of it. It never took off with me. There's another one that I'm looking at my phone here, and there are 2 Canadian shows that are adult animated, and I don't think they have much of a reason to exist, which is unfortunate because the shows they're based on are fucking brilliant in their own way. But they're very Canadiana in their approach, and they just don't translate well to an animated medium. Is Corner Gas animated? I don't understand why that's a thing. And Letterkenny got Little Kenny, which was a series of like 6 to 10 animated 10-15-minute shorts that existed during the
For what it's worth, I like the Clerks animated series. I think
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yes.
The Clerks animated series is underrated.
Fucking
oh my
brilliant.
God, it's hilarious. Who the
I
hell
still quote
is
that
Leonardo? Who the hell is Leonardo? Leonardo is a question you might be asking.
If your finger is far from the pulse, and why are we walking like this? The amount of times I still quote that to this very fucking day. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. The amount of times, hey, it's Matt Damon, comes up in everyday conversation in my life.
I still love all right, ma'am, that'll be 12 cents. I have a coupon. Just takes the card out. No, the Clerks animated series, unfortunately, has become.
Grimace.
We don't talk about Grimace. It's become, unfortunately, a little bit unavailable. I don't even think it's streaming anywhere.
No, I still have
it's
my box set.
it's in rights hell,
DVD,
like Dogma was, and probably will be.
Dogma
Because
was.
I mean, Kevin will probably go after it. Because why the fuck wouldn't he after getting Dogma?
Once he has the chance to get Clerks animated from the grave, he will grab it immediately.
Although he tried to do something in the same vein, but it just turned out terrible. He tried to do Jane Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon, and that's fucking atrocious.
It's not unwatchable, but it is not.
I mean,
great.
we're getting the video
great,
game
not terrible.
finally.
It's like I don't know, like certain things translate well, or like you think about certain movies that get translated in the animated series. One I kind of liked, but it was very short-lived because it was so weird, was the Napoleon Dynamite series.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
bring that up because I did like the short-lived Napoleon Dynamite series. I only saw like 3 or 4 episodes of it, and I think there was only like 10 made, if I remember correctly.
Maybe I think 6. I think
I'll
Six
be
made,
honest. I find the actual original movie insufferable. So
Oh, you and Blair will get along well. She hates it too. And I
it's
wonder
one of
how
those
well that
movies.
would
I
hold
think
up.
I think it's aged really well. I think Napoleon Dynamite's actually aged phenomenally. To
okay,
be honest,
I will admit it's aged better than something like Superbad. Superbad.
I love that movie.
Superbad was never meant to age well. Superbad
That's true.
had a thing to say.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah, Superbad had a half-life of 3
About 10 years.
But I mean, like, you think about shows like fucking Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura:
Mask.
Pet Detective and
Mask.
Mask and Beethoven, like all these shows that
Problem
kind of
Child.
translated into. Oh fuck, Problem Child did have one.
Roseanne had one.
Oh, I know
Rosie.
Roseanne. There was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Don't forget about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
my
it's interesting
God.
that you kind of had the ones that I mean, literally, like in that conversation we just had, the ones that stuck around and the ones that didn't. And the fact that Napoleon Dynamite kind of still does have its fans today. I don't know how much they are, but I know that was streaming on Hulu for a bit.
There was even one that
there was a big anniversary event, and it got a lot of like Gen Z and younger people into the movie.
Yeah, like
because it still holds up.
There was another one that they tried to make it a star vehicle for I can't remember. We were just talking about, he was in Superbad, not Michael Cera's actor.
Oh, Jonah Hill?
Yeah, Jonah Hill. They had another show. It was again on Fox, where they tried to expand the animation domination, and it was called Alan Gregory. And I cannot say, or I can't remember a more mean-spirited show ever than that. It wanted to be the critic, but less smart. And it thought meanness was comedy, and it wasn't.
You just brought me back. No, I do remember that show. I never watched it, but I remember the advertisements for it. And
it was just
wow, that's weird.
Yeah, and again, it's okay if you want to have a starring vehicle for, a comedian. Like I can't remember the actor's name, but it was a sitcom and it wasn't very good, but it was called Platypus Man. And it was like, this is fucking terrible. The actor's hysterical, but who the fuck is this for?
Well, we haven't touched on like much of Adult Swim. Adult Swim was the hub of adult animation, even borrowing from lineups and whatnot. But I mean, you had shows on there like Ass Cop, like where it was literally an ass that was a cop. I mean, you had
Ass Cop was a much better show.
Super Jail. You had Mr. Pickles. You had,
Frisky Dingo.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Frisky Dingo, Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
We have
Harvey Birdman.
Harvey Birdman.
Going into anime, you have Inferno Cop.
Samurai
Jack.
Samurai Jack, thank you, yeah.
Primal spawned off of that.
Primal's great.
Yeah, Primal's just fucking fantastic.
Happy Tree Friends.
Happy Tree Friends.
Yep.
Oh God, Happy Tree Friends. That
I love Happy Tree Friends, but man, some of those are traumatizing.
Yeah.
I mean, Happy Tree Friends has the same vibe as Film Cows stuff.
Well, it's like for a while there was that the absurdity humor went straight to violence, because like a lot of the one of my favorites that I still watch to this day is the ASDF movies on YouTube.
Yep. Those still make me giggle every time.
Well, because some of those are dark, and I love when they recognize it's dark and do that thing where they go, "Ha, comedy." But some of that shit is just so absurd. I mean, like
Desmond,
the Moon Bear. How did I get here? Then Desmond the Moon Bear 2, they just cut back and it's a floating bear skeleton. Like, I mean, there's just so much absurdity thrown in throughout that. It is a treat.
There is one show I discovered through review on this show. I'd seen one episode at my first MagFest because I got in really late to my hotel, and whoever had left the hotel TV on had it on Cartoon Network, and it was called Regular Show with Mordecai and the other guy. Yeah,
I just watched Babish's freaking montage or a compilation the other day of him making all the food from Regular Show. Binging with Babish did a compilation of all the major meal things that he made from there. Regular Show was a show that I didn't want to like. It was when Adventure Time and Regular Show were both coming out, and I didn't want to fall into that group. I didn't want to be a fan of something because that was the cool thing. And I was like, no, I will not be a fan of this. And then Regular Show, I just fell in love with.
Yeah.
Well, regular Show is the more adulty storylines.
It's more nostalgia driven. I mean, there's literally a fucking story about a cassette tape. There's a story about a rental VHS. Hello, governor. Like all that stuff.
Well,
it's so for our age group.
The whole premise of Regular Show is it's supposed to be a normal show, but then something goes fucking batshit insane.
Yeah, like it's so weird. It's fun.
Regular Show has genuinely upsetting sequences. Like upsetting. Like we're talking Brave Little Toaster upsetting sequences.
Yeah. And it's weird because it's like Adventure Time obviously spun off Fiona and Cake into its own series, and that's a streaming series. And they were able to get away with a lot more stuff and deep lore and bullshit like that. I'm not a fan of Adventure Time simply because the marketing of it early on was really fucking annoying.
Honestly, it's the fandom that kind of ruined Adventure Time for me.
It's the Rick and Morty Adventure Time fan. I mean, if you worked at a store that sold media like I did with FYE, you couldn't escape those fans and you couldn't escape that merchandise.
Yeah.
And
well,
you know what?
The problem with Adventure Time, they started the marketing to attract those people because the whole
it felt like the Ivan
campaign,
Ooze. The Ivan Ooze move. It felt like that was the ooze, and they were giving it to the children. I'm not trying to be funny when I say that. It just feels like that was the movement.
But the whole marketing, the first thing with the marketing was just a little kid running around dressed like Finn, going, "What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?" and just screaming at people.
There was shit. It was right on. There are two things I want to mention. One, I just want to get it out so I don't forget it. But there was a Sausage Party animated series. Why do we need that?
I wish that movie could be escaped from my brain. Like I want it erased from my brain.
It's simply because Amazon needed stuff to have on their service.
Yeah, they needed something that wasn't invincible,
and they had to deal with
Sony, maybe.
They had to deal with Seth Rogen.
Okay, there's another one that I like the premise of the show. I love the idea. I love what it says, but the fandom is ruined. And it's not necessarily adult, but I find a lot of adults have gravitated towards it, which is, again, good for them. The Steven Universe franchise. And this is not a critique of the culture around it.
Never seen a single episode.
I've seen a couple, and I love what it says about friendship, inclusion, equity.
I appreciate all of the messages it's giving. I just can't not stand the inconsistency in its animation, and that's a problem with just like Cartoon Network in general at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But also the absolute ridiculousness of the fandom. Also, I don't like the music.
I like portions of it. I will say that, and I love some of the cosplay community that has come out of it. Like, there's a girl that I know. Oh, sorry.
Huge respect to Rebecca Sugar. She's an amazing creator. She's done she's worked on a couple of other shows that I've really enjoyed. But like, I don't like Steven Universe. I think it's insufferable.
I mean, and I guess that kind of expands into a different conversation too. When you look at fandoms that attract adult fans, like for example, I was known very well for a while as a brony fan of My Little Pony.
Same here.
And people would ask me, why do you like it? Because you know what? It gave me a good message. And I got a tattoo of Derpy Hooves. And, people say, oh, that's ableist. Like, no, that's a person who's comfortable in their own skin. And genuinely just wants to be accepted for who they are. And that's the message I always took away from that show. And people are like, oh, it's for degenerates and weirdos.
Well, here's the thing. Fandoms,
that's one way to look at it.
Nobody hates the thing they love more than fandoms. Fandoms will love something so much they destroy it. And I know that's easy to say, but it's that whole idea of too much of a good thing is a bad thing. I'm currently reading a book called Kill the Boy Band that's literally about these girls that sneak into this hotel and accidentally end up kidnapping a member of a boy band group, and everything like escalates from there to like insane levels. But what is more horrifying out of anything in this book so far is the obsession that these fans have for this thing. Like at some point, there's nothing wrong with being a fan of something, but it's just like there's that line in True Romance from Christian Slater where he's like, yeah, now the major fans like they make me weird. I mean, like, look at that. How can that person exist? Like, it's just like when you love something so much that's the thing, that's your air that you breathe. There's a problem, and it's just like, unfortunately, you're gonna find that in pretty much all fandoms. Like, nobody hates horror more than horror fans. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's true. We all. It's so strange though, because like certain fandoms, or at least communities, maybe I'll use a different phrase there, I don't see a lot of problematic elements coming out of, say, the King of the Hill fandom. I don't see a lot of problems coming out of the Bob's Burgers fandom. Yet consistently, Family Guy's pretty consistent in how terrible it is. Simpsons are notorious for their toxicity. which is
there's an elitism. There's an elitism to certain shows where I mean, like there was that whole thing that went out with Rick and Morty that I'm sure we remember with the. I don't see why people were fans of Rick and Morty. Like the humor is just so over people's heads they probably don't get it. Like it's just like when you take something and you break it down to a point of only your side of it. This is what I see out of this program. This is my interpretation. And the only people that see it this way are going to be the true fans. Like, well, you're already an asshole.
I'm going to say that Vivzy Pop and all her work, the fandom is toxic. There's some people that just personally hate anything she does. And that comes out of a lot of LGBTQ plus hate. And it's predominantly, and it's a super female driven production. So there's that as well. And there's a lot of people that will just hate on Vivzy to hate on Vivzy. And it disgusts me. And I don't try to deal with the drama because, of course, there's always stupid drama when it comes to anything internet culture.
It's maybe a bigger conversation, but I feel like there is no fandom that doesn't have like a vocal group of haters anymore.
Oh no, well I mean that's unfortunately the downside of the internet. It's like what's the great thing about the internet? We get to connect with everybody. What's the bad thing about the internet? We get to connect with everybody. It's literally there's no good bad side to it. There's just a complete middle there because you're either on one side or you're not. And then
this is it, and I think this has been sort of further gamified by like there's no real like entertainment journalism anymore. It's all kind of fan service. It's like, remember this thing from the past,
or it's the right wing grifters in entertainment media that just want to spit bullshit.
It's also the fact that, I mean, we all joke about it, but like we did bully a company to change Sonic's design. Like that actually did happen. Like the internet bullied something and made a change for it.
And to be fair,
it turned out great, but still.
It turned out great,
great.
Yeah. But I mean that's the point though. That's my point though. Like we go back to the shows that we started out talking about with like Ren and Stimpy and The Simpsons and whatnot. Like there were message boards maybe back then about these places. But now we have entire podcasts on them. Now we have entire video breakdowns of episodes, characters, all this stuff. I'm so happy that there is a fandom, but at the same time, you have to imagine what we did in the early times of actually having to find the fandom with the fan clubs. Now, not saying that the fan clubs were much better, probably, because I mean that was just merchandising sold to you because you were into this thing.
I'm an anime fan, and the anime fandom, there's literally an entire website that I've basically said fuck off because of how toxic they are.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt wrote a. Sorry to interrupt, but Patton Oswalt wrote a essay like I think 6 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like in the 80s, you had to work your ass off to be a fan because like the movie wouldn't come out like on streaming like 3 weeks later, and there wasn't an internet, there wasn't an IMDb, and there was a tone to it. Yeah, and there was a tone to it at the time that was like, okay, boomer, but like the more time has passed, I'm thinking there's a lot in that essay that is correct.
Absolutely. No, I mean, and that kind of goes back to the whole thing that, we talked about recently. We had an episode on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's kind of like that whole thing going back to how did you find this? And it's like some of us on that episode, we found the VHS tape. Some of us found the cartoon. With this, it's just like everything is at your fingertips, so you can rediscover shows too. You brought up The Critic recently, Mike, and I just actually recently started watching it. Like last year, I started watching The Critic for the first time. So it's just like, I think with adult animation also, the thing that's cool is there's so much out there that you don't even have to interact with some of these fandoms, because some of the fandoms for these ones is a small fucking group because they didn't reach out to many places. And unless you have somebody that has a DVD of it now, or somebody has luckily put it up on YouTube or other ways on the internet, it's lost and you really only get to remember it. So it's kind of good that in this day and age, we at least do have a way to watch this stuff, even if there are so many fandoms created from it. But there's definitely ones that have less toxic than the others.
And also even the internet age, there's a whole lot of lost media. The death of Flash killed a lot of old stuff. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, HomestarRenner.com, I think, might have been my introduction into sarcasm, like to the best degree possible as a kid.
For
Yeah.
me, it was Happy Tree Friends into Red versus Blue into that whole part.
I
of
have
the internet.
never seen a single episode of Red versus Blue. I don't know how
I've
did
seen
not
one.
have that
So-
stumble into my eyes in my age group, but it just never happened.
I would argue seasons 6 through 8 are the best storytelling that they have ever done with that show.
Mhm.
Because it was like genuinely it was genuinely a character story between those 3 seasons. And
You know,
after that it goes a little weird.
you know what show I never understood the appeal of, and I genuinely tried because I was there at the beginning. I never understood the appeal of Clone High.
Mm.
And I don't know why that is. There's just something about
For
that
me,
show
Clone
I found so
High is
obnoxious.
For me, Clone High is more of a meme factory than it is anything else.
And I think that's part of the problem when it comes to crafting adult animation. Are you telling a story, or are you clip farming? Are you looking for the next meme, or are you trying to
be
memify-
clever? Yeah.
Yeah.
Family Guy kind of created the clip farming though, because I feel like we would talk more about Peter's cutaways than we would the actual episode storylines most of the time, because those cutaways are where you could get away with a lot of shit.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
See, one of my favorite episodes is I like the storyline, but I also like one of the best cutaways in my opinion, and
Mhm.
that's the one where he befriends the mobster.
Oh God!
And my favorite joke of all time is it's like Vegas all over again. Hit me.
I do love that.
The hit me.
I
Joke,
do
that's
love
great.
that. My favorite will always be the Fock. When
that's a
Peter
good one.
is trying to help Chris with his homework, and he's like, "Lazy Fock, stupid Fock, ugly fucking bitch."
There was a recent family. I'm not sure how recent it is. I only saw it on YouTube. But there's a cutaway where Peter makes a reference to something, and then it cuts to the control room where they're trying to load the cutaway gag, and they're like, we have no idea what he's referencing. There's a little bit of self-awareness there that I found.
Isn't
kind
it
of
when they
funny.
cut back? Peter's like, "I think they played the wrong clip."
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
One of my
there's a
favorites
little bit of self-awareness there that I.
One of
found
my
funny.
favorites recently that is not a new clip, but has just kind of luckily grown a life of its own again, is Stewie at the Kid Rock concert, and the guy behind him starts falling and has a heart attack, and the woman goes, "Oh my God, he's having a heart attack! Is anybody a doctor here?" And Stewie goes, "There's no fucking way anybody's a doctor here."
Yes, that was brilliant.
No, there's a good. There's another good joke, cutaway joke with Stewie, where he's at the Grateful Dead concert. And
Anybody
and
want to
the-
buy my T-shirt? Anybody want to buy my T-shirt?
Yeah, I'm like, as someone whose parents are Grateful Dead fans, yeah, that tracks.
No, that happens. Yeah. No, I mean that's the thing is like Family Guy itself. We talk about the gags more than we do the actual storyline episodes. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the one that I still remember to this
I think
day
it's
is
I think
Freddy
it's
telling the
early.
joke that makes him shit.
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
I think it's early Family Guy where the actual storylines matter.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember, like,
and-
I remember there was really big hit episodes in college, at least, because like that was like Return to the Multiverse. Because I remember my roommate was paying for Hulu at the time, so he could get them on demand or like
Yep.
the day they dropped.
well,
So it
also-
was a big
also
deal
that
to
was the
watch them, and they
era-
were uncut.
That was we were both in college at the time where Hulu would give you a free year if you had a
Yep.
college address.
If you had a college address that they
Oh,
could verify.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So I mean, yeah, it's funny too because like the adult animation that I got in college was largely Family Guy, and also running into that stuff like picking up my first copy of oh god damn it, I'm gonna Brickerwood.
Yep.
Bricker the Tosh Daniel Tosh cartoon. I can't remember. I think it's on Tubi right now, but Brickleberry. And that was also when I watched Futurama, which I've never seen all of
yes.
Futurama still to this day.
Ooh, I did the marathon back in college.
My girlfriend wants to, so we're going to
marathons.
start it after we finish Golden Girls.
Oh man, it like Futurama has aged so well.
If you motherfuckers
So
are about to talk shit about Golden Girls, we're gonna have a
Oh, no.
round on this
No,
show.
we're not.
Okay. No. I heard Adam snicker and I heard Mike start. Okay, just making sure.
Actually, you know what's funny? They actually, this is true. This has been authenticated by people who work at Wizards of the Coast. Golden Girls was used as design document for designing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
Because each member of the party represents a specific role and a specific skill set.
Totally believe that. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And there is a module written. There actually, and Dave, since you're into this, there actually is a Golden Girl RPG. Literally a tabletop game. Now it's not officially licensed, but there are documents that exist. So
well, I got one thing to say to you, sir, and that's thank you for being a friend.
That's right. But yeah, it's like there's so many interesting adult animation shows, some good, some bad. I think we can all universally agree the communities can either be wonderfully supportive or incredibly toxic. Very rarely do they meet in the middle. But give adult animation a shot. You might find something you may be unexpectedly enthralled by. Go back, visit older stuff, find stuff like The Critic. If you can find the Napoleon Dynamite show.
I would argue Amazon Prime has a huge library of very good adult animation.
And
so does Tubi. Yeah, Tubi just dropped a
Tubi
bunch of
as well.
stuff.
Well, Tubi also just got that deal with Warner Brothers, so they have the entire back catalog.
Hey, to the fucking Warner Brothers also just gave Vincent 40 movies, and I swear to God, if one of them's Ricochet, I'm gonna take my pants off in happiness because goddamn, I've been waiting for my Ricochet. I had a custom Blu-ray made of Ricochet because Ricochet is still stuck on DVD to this day. So Warner Brothers, if you're hearing this, Warner Archive or Vincent or Shout, get that motherfucker out, please. You're doing it in other countries, goddammit.
Vinegar syndrome. Yeah, so this has been a really fun show, guys. I love putting together these RAMs. Eventually we'll talk about adult animated movies because that's an entirely different category.
Fritz the Cat.
Yeah, cats. Oh boy.
Most of Ralph Bakshi's works.
Most of Bakshi's work. Did I ever tell you guys that I saw Wizards by accident because somebody at the library had put it in the children's section because it had an animated cover?
Oh Jesus! I can only imagine how traumatizing that was. Hey kids,
saw Wizards when I was 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
Fun!
Mutant Nazis.
I was at least 18.
I was in high school.
The fact that he says, "You brother, you're a son of a bitch," and then just shoots him, just beautiful, beautiful.
The most what the fuck ending I have ever had in a movie. When I watched that first time, I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I'll probably have more stories on that for that.
Oh
episode.
yeah. I got that dropped onto me by a kid who is like super Christian, super whatever, insulated. And he's like, "Oh, this is my favorite movie." I'm thinking, okay, I'm curious. Showed it to me. I remember looking at him in utter horror, thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you? But we'll tell that story next time. So for This Week in Geeks RAM from the Royal City of Guelph, Ontario,
I have been Adam A. Donaldson.
From the wilds of the mystical land of Ohio,
David Neuer coming to you from Ohio. And this is like the time that Mike and I talked about the Maniac Cop trilogy some years ago.
Good times. And then finally, from the wonderful Garden State of New Jersey,
Ken from This Anime.
All right, guys, we will see you again next time right here on This Week in Geek. And as always, in these troubled times, please be excellent to each other. We'll catch you guys again next time right here on thisweekingeek.net.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Thanks for listening to this episode of This Week in Geek. Hungry for more? Check out our website at thisweekingeek.net. You can subscribe to the podcast, browse our Twitter and Instagram, and leave your thoughts on today's topics. If you'd like to give us some feedback, send us an email at feedback@thisweekingeek.net. Tune in next time, and remember,
lower your shields and surrender your listenership.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.